The number one reason why many watercolor beginners they don't see improvement in their watercolor artwork just because of they don't practice regularly. Today in this video I'm going to explain you how you can just spend 10 or 15 minutes of your time to improve your watercolor artwork that actually works. So here I'm just taking a very simple example. I want to practice a bottle which has some liquid into it. And the whole idea here is to practice in just 10-15 minutes of time. When I was starting this, I'm just making sure that the color I'm going to use it, I'm just allowing to just enjoy the process and not to have overwhelm with its at the end result. That's the whole point I just wanted to bring into this. So I can go with the color, the whatever the reference image it suggests to me. The whole point here is me to just apply the color, the whatever the way I want, and make it a very spontaneous way of doing things. So at this moment, what you see here is I'm just using this fan brush, which typically, if you look at the any watercolor, they don't basically do in that way. But I'm just doing it because I wanted to see it's how things are going, how things are working out in that particular in the way of walking. And when you apply the color into it, just see how much the volume of water or the pigment ratio you're using it. Just try to learn and try to understand that in a very I would say it's a very sometimes it's a conscious way, and sometimes it's really great result you'll see when you work in a very subconscious mind. And that's exactly I'm just doing right here. What I'm just doing here is I'm just trying to bring the idea of having that color based on the reference image I'm following, or even if it is a it's a imaginative work. So whichever the subject you are painting in, the whole idea here is to just apply the color here and see things how things are coming out way. Definitely you will have these sometimes your first layer something like this you'll happen, and sometimes you'll feel like your vertical is not going anywhere. The very first thing you need to remove from your side is the perfectionism from you. Right? Because lots of people they believe that if I'm spending time to create something, it should be beautiful, so it should be perfect, so the people should appreciate me and my art. This is not going to work. Come on, I mean, you are working on that painting, and you are taking a complete charge to study the various mood, the values, the various shapes of that particular subject you are working on. Your focus should be that, not to just obsessed with getting things, to painting things beautiful to please someone. And that attitude, if you'll just shift your attitude from this to more like a very casual kind of saying hi to your artwork, is a great way to improve your artwork this 10 to 15 minutes. Now I'm working on this the second layer, and this is the moment when you will be overwhelmed with the various the temperament of watercolor. It will judge you all the time, and this is the moment when when you just try to find out which all the places you wanted to study the value, which all the places you will feel, which all the color you'll feel like I should apply that tonal value into this artwork. And this is exactly you need to practice in this 10 to 15 minutes of your time. Okay, now what I'm doing here is I am just trying to bring the dimension to it. So this bottle has a dimension, and I wanted to bring that up here with the help of some value study. And these values are basically helping you a lot, because when you try to apply these the tonal value as a second layer, you'll sometimes it happens that you'll feel very overwhelmed with several brush strokes, and the several the focal area will emerge. But overall, if you look at this entire the way of working, this time frame will allow you to go without thinking of any of such issues, like when you work in a very conscious mind that I want to complete this artwork in 10 15 minutes, you'll start working on very rapidly. Exactly, this is what I'm just doing it here. Now the question comes, what kind of subject you should be choosing? It all ups you. I mean, whichever subject is appealing you and you wanted to study, you wanted to get better into it, you just take any subject you wanted, whether it's landscape, portrait, cityscape, whatever it is. Okay, your idea should be that I have only 10 or 15 minutes, and within this time I will just study something, I'll just create something, and I'm happy with it. Right? This mindset is way more important than what you are actually working on the paper, because you are, if you wanted to see yourself doing good artwork, good watercolor, then this shift is really important for you, my friend. Okay, so now choose subject whichever you want. Now take an example of this particular subject. I have just taken it. It's a bottle which has oil or whatever, some liquid in it, and we are just painting it. So what we are just trying to capture in this is we are trying to capture its shapes, right? Its shapes, what kind of a shape it is. So I'm just giving you an idea how to practice actually, So this shapes gives you the idea that okay, what is the proportion of this bottle should be, what is the perspective, what is the depth of this painting or this drawing. So you'll understand the composition, you'll understand the value and the perspective of this particular subject, right? The first thing happens that now when you go more into it, you will also see various other pigments, like how to work on the first layer, how to work on the second or third layer, how to work with the values. So I'm working on these subject and the values which I wanted to get into this artwork. If you look at this overall approach, you see I'm using the darker pigment and some softer values, and most importantly the tonal value, right? These tonal values is so important you to practice, and if you will just create a one art in a 1 week, that is not going to work. The best way to learn watercolor, especially if you're aiming for loose watercolor, this is the way you want you and you should be painting, because the more and more, the faster you will work, you will have those the temperament where your brush will start reacting in a fast manner, and you will also, your brain will also start thinking in that way, because you are not just painting with just brush. Let me tell you that when you start painting it, after a certain time, your hand and the coordination with your hand, your brush and your brain work together in watercolor. Okay, so I think that's the best way to do that, only when you work in a way that you are not spending 15 minutes, more than 15 minutes of time. So you will be in an edge all the time, and you'll feel like, okay, I have only 10 minutes to practice. Let me just do that before I'll just proceed to my further work. So, this situation you will be there, it will be just like okay, I have only 10 minutes, I need to finish it. So you'll start working in that way, your brain will start navigating you, and it will allow you to handle your brush in that certain way, right? Now this is the key factor of doing the practice in a very fast way manner. Now, this is the kind of the look and feel you will have when you will start working on this. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, then I would request you to please consider subscribing this channel, and I'm inviting you to join my Patreon watercolor art community, where you can improve your watercolor significantly. I have a very constructive, structured watercolor courses for you, and there are several people are there across the globe who's learning from this platform. So I'm inviting you to please check that out, and I'm sure you're going to love that. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video very soon. Till then, you can watch this video, which is very important for you to understand the various aspect of watercolor, and I'll see you very soon in the next video. See you and take care.